Grace joins me now. Grace, it looks like we could be in store for our first major hurricane of the Atlantic season.
Yes, Dan, we absolutely are. Of course, we've been watching everything that's been happening to Puerto Rico and in the Dominican Republic. But here's the thing about Hurricane Fiona. By 7 p.m. tomorrow, it's expected to be a Category 4 hurricane, which is winds well over the 150-mile-an-hour mark at peak wind gusts. So, of course, Dan, we are watching this and we are praying for those who were in its path. Well, a little bit closer to home here in Madison at Toyota Field, conditions are looking dry and completely clear. The Trash Pandas, of course, not in Toyota Field this evening. We are anxiously awaiting their arrival later on this week. The Way 31 Storm Tracker early warning radar network is dry at the moment, taking a break and getting a little chance to rest, as it will be a while before we do see rain come back onto that radar. Well, let's take a look at our winds at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. They will be coming out of our northwest, west-northwest truly, at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Now, this is a great thing because we're going to have some increased humidity, which means that any breeze we can get is going to help us not feel quite so warm. Our temperatures at the moment are hanging out in the 70s, most of us in those low 70s. We're talking 73 in Huntsville, a little bit cooler, 68 in Coleman, and 70 degrees in Moulton as you head to bed. Good night to all of you this evening. Overnight tonight, we will stay calm and cool. We will have temperatures bottoming out there for us in the upper 60s. Not as cool as where we're expected to be. Typically, we see low to mid 60s for our overnight lows this time of year, but even still, we'll take what we can get. At a day like 90, we'll take temperatures in the 60s, won't we? Well, that means first thing tomorrow morning as you get the kids off to the bus stop or yourself off to work, we will be slightly warmer than what we're used to. Of course, we will be in the upper 60s, but we will have plenty of sunshine on tap, so even though it will be warm, it'll be a good way to start the rest of the work week. Alrighty, well, let's talk about what you can expect for your outdoor dining forecast. Lunch, I'm only giving you 3 stars because our high temperature is at 95 degrees tomorrow. The sun will be shining, we will have a slight breeze, and conditions will be beautiful, but they will be very hot and quite muggy for us. For dinner time, I'm giving you 4 stars as we will be significantly cooler and in the upper 80s, which means that's probably the meal that you're going to want to have outside if given the choice between the two. All right, well, the good news is if you've been waiting to get the car washed or to mow the grass, do any plans outside, well, this week is the week to do it. If you can escape the heat and make sure you stay hydrated, we will have dry conditions following us through the foreseeable future, meaning that it's a good time to go get as much bang for your buck as you can on that car wash or on that lawn mowing. Alrighty, well, the good news is, I'm not letting you go to bed tonight without just a hint of a silver lining. As we trend towards the end of September, we will have conditions actually becoming cooler than what we're used to seeing here in North Alabama for this time of year. So once we get past this week's heat, we will be starting to feel a little more like fall and a little more like autumn, just in time to get us to all of those holidays coming not too far from now. Well, Tuesday and Wednesday, your warmest days of the week, specifically Wednesday in the upper 90s. Take a look at Thursday. We do have the autumnal equinox coming up, but it's next week before we see temperatures in the 80s and Monday before we really cool off. Stay with us. Dan has more on all you need to know coming up after this break.